Good morning, everybody. So it is Christina here today, hanging out with Louise on the new channel, The Gray State Truth. How are you today, Louise?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Trying to get over stomach bugs and kids being sick and all that loveliness.
Delightful.
All right. So today we're going to try to go over the prophecy video again.
Yes. Take two.
And I'm hoping that, because I still have it up from the last video, let me actually put this on share this time so that way you can see it. Share screen. That would be that one. I'll eventually get used to all of this.
I can see it.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to start the beginning of it and tell me if you can hear it. Maybe. Come on.
I hate that little spinning
You
thing.
know what? Let me just like refresh. There we go. Okay.
There
was
we
a
go.
journal entry. It said, Komel
Can't
got
hear
raptured
it.
today.
Can you hear it?
No.
No. Okay. Trying to think why.
Have you got headphones connected or something? Is that anything?
Yeah, that's probably why. Okay, hold on. Let me see. All right.
Still can't hear it.
You still can't hear it?
No.
Okay, so probably what I'll have to do. Hold on, let me pull up our chat on the phone. And okay, so I'm gonna like unplug my headphones.
It's weird because I know you shared something before and we could hear it.
Yeah,
so
that's really weird.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because it's in this actual
Might be
browser. Let me move it over to Google real quick. Maybe that's what we shall see. All right. No, I can't even hear that. Okay.
It said, Komel got raptured today.
Now?
Period.
Nope.
She's still here.
No. Okay, so it's probably my headphones. I'm gonna replay and unplug, and then I'll plug them back in here in a second. So I'm gonna go for like 5 seconds, and you can tell me if you can hear it. All right, hold on.
Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me? Did you hear it?
I didn't know.
Okay, that's really odd. So maybe it's something in this actual program that's not allowing it to work, like the sound wise.
Is there anything on the other settings of it?
That's what I'm looking at. Let me see, maybe if I change that.
There was a journal entry. It said,
all right, maybe it's on screen sharing. All right, let's look in the settings here at that is so weird. I don't understand.
It is, isn't it?
It's really weird. Video player for Google Drive. Oh, that's not it. Get a video audio file from Google Drive. No, that's not it. Okay. Come on. What are we doing here? Advanced. There we go. Okay. Who can share? All participants. All participants. That's all of the settings that it gives me. That is horrible. Oh, you know what? Maybe it is because my sound settings are coming out of this monitor and not this monitor. So let me share. Oh, crap. Oops. Let me let me share it over on this screen and then move it over. That is probably what's going on. Okay.
Komel got raptured today.
What about
Period.
now?
She's still here.
No.
This is so freaking weird. I don't
I
understand.
know.
Like, because I know that it worked before, so
Yeah.
I'm just confused as to why it. Let's see, microphone, sound, allow.
Still not hearing anything.
It's hard to hear when I first listened because
Huh. Okay, so that's embedding. I think if it wasn't on. Anyone on the internet with this link can view.
Can you download the video?
That is a good idea. Thank you.
I'm not saying it's going to work or anything.
There we go. So you learn something new every day. All right.
Let's not get. This is like the blind leading the blind here.
I know, right?
We will get there.
All right.
There was a journal entry.
Now can you hear it?
Komel got raptured today.
It
Period.
doesn't even look like
She's
it's
still
playing.
Oh, yeah, because it moved to the other screen. That's why. Hold on. Oh, this is horrible. Hey, at least
it was hard to hear when I first listened.
our views are just mutual inside.
Well,
Hold on.
I didn't realize there was anything on here.
Okay, let me pull up Zoom and let me stop share on that screen and let me.
Joe says that he can hear it. It's
Yeah.
just that we can't.
Right.
But then,
Yeah.
which is kind of good, but not because then we're like lip reading.
Yeah. Okay. Now tell me if you can hear it.
There was a journal
No.
entry. It said, Komel got raptured today.
Still nothing.
Period.
Still
She's still
nothing.
here.
Oh God, why? That's so weird.
Because
No.
there's some background.
Nothing.
I didn't realize there was anything on here.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and play it for
Play it for the YouTube audience.
play it for the audience, and then
I'll read the subtitles.
I'm gonna go. I will. I'm gonna go through this later on and try to figure out what's going on. I'll research it and see why videos won't play. I know people unplug their headphones most of the time, and it sends it through.
Right.
But it may be because I don't have external speakers. I just have headphones.
Yeah.
So that could be it too. So I'll have to plug in my my poor beaten speakers that my kids have torn apart over here.
Okay.
For next time. But for now we'll do this. And then next time I'll hook it up. But anyways, this is the Komels prophecy video. This one is a lot better quality than um, the actual online version because it has the subtitles, and you can hear like what's being said a lot clearer, and then you can also read it on the screen. So let's take a listen.
There was a journal entry. It said, Komel got raptured today. Period. She's still here.
It's, it was hard to hear when I first listened because there's some background noise in the room. I didn't realize there was anything on here.
What is it?
I just told you. I just told you.
What is it?
I loved you.
Of course you have. We've decided. You don't understand.
But you were. Thank you for loving me.
Of course.
So happy running with you. I found her too. I thought I would cry. I want you. Please come with me.
Please come with me.
There's nothing left here. I don't know how to live here.
There's another recording here of David right after this vision happened of going into a room and trying to explain right away what Komel had said and that's here too.
1:48 p.m. 30 October 2014. I was just getting back from Home Depot with a bunch of wood to build the compost bin. Had lunch with Coma, and suddenly she began to shake and weep and howl, as if like someone had died. And she sat down. She said, "This is what rapture is." You got to give me some time.
Can I just lay here?
Yeah. Do you want? I was just trying to remember everything. If you want to contribute, you can help me remember.
Okay.
You said you've come very far to find me, and Ronnie and I need to come with you. And there's not much time. Time is not of our world. And on some level, your soul has committed to mine, and we're gonna go somewhere. And Ronnie's coming with.
I was kind of skeptical, and I'm trying to make sure the source from whence it came was real. I don't know. I my skeptical side right now, my scientific side, my brain's questioning where it came from. It's like, oh, was it something to confuse us? Am I crazy?
There was a journal entry.
Okay. You there?
I am.
Okay. So one thing that I thought was really odd in there is the part where let me see if I can find it. Where is it?
You. I thought I would cry.
Hold on.
I want you. Please come with me. Please come with me.
So she says, "Please go with me," and then after that he repeats and says, "Please come with me." Like I'm so confused about that. Like, because
they've cut bits out of it because there's obviously more.
Okay, yeah, because this is a longer video. They've cut out what what the family didn't want put out.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, that. I don't know all of what was said in the whole thing, and I don't think anyone, it shows Komel particularly in a very vulnerable state.
Right.
So I think, I'm thinking that there's potentially some very sensitive things that are being discussed in these audios.
Okay.
When you think of when David says about, you said you'd come from a long way to find me, and we've got to go somewhere, and Ronnie's coming with.
Right.
My opinion is that there's potentially things in there about what they have to do and where they have to go, because it's regarding what's going to happen to a child.
Right.
Is it right to put it out in the public arena for documentary stroke entertainment
Right.
kind of thing?
Well, we do know that this video is longer, and that's documented, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The
So,
friends and have said that things were cut because it wouldn't make for a good or pleasant, it would be an uncomfortable viewing.
right.
And I
Well,
think
not
out of
only that,
dignity.
the police have an obligation to keep the public safe as well, and because David's um fans, or his, the group of people that followed him, were, really big into conspiracy theories and things like that. They didn't want this, these fans or this group of people to do the same because,
Yeah, you
um,
do hear of like copycat things.
yes, a lot. If one was Chester Bennington, when he committed
Yeah,
suicide, a lot of people, there was people coming up that were lifelong fans, and they had killed themselves too. And so it's, you know,
yeah. Because in the Death of a Dystopian article from the New Yorker,
right,
there's a, they mention this particular incident, and there's some references that we don't see in this actual video clip,
right,
but it is relating to it. It says David's entry for October 30th says cryptically, Kamel got raptured today. She's still here. That morning, he had gone to Home Depot, and when he returned, Kamel came into the kitchen and asked him to hold her. She said something was very wrong, something about, do not fear, sweet body, for we have felt this pain together. David said in a recording that he'd made immediately after on his phone. He went on paraphrasing her, don't worry about the pain, because you do not know how to feel pain, and you will return to the dust and your dark slumber, and I will be gone. I have my mission, she had told him. She said she had heard a woman's scary voice and asked if he had heard it. Sounding distraught, she reproduced the voice. I've warned you. I've warned you. Then I want you. Please come with me. Please come with me. Your place won't come to me. There's nothing left here. David went into his office and shut the door. This took a lot out of her, he said into his phone. He had held her while she began to shake, weep, and howl. And then she said, this is what rapture is. Kamel came into the room and then lay down on the couch. You said you were Egyptian, David told her. You said you'd come from very far to find me, and Rani and I need to come with you, and there's not much time. The primary emotion was that of like desperate, desperate love, like hopeless love, he continued. And on some level, your soul has committed to mine, and we're going to go somewhere, and Rani's coming with. Those were the last words, Kamel said, her voice pitched just above a whisper.
wow,
So I think there's a lot more that's not for public viewing.
yes, definitely.
Um,
And that's
I
the
can
thing.
understand.
There's a lot of people, you know, especially the other group, who believe that they're entitled to, these videos or this journal entry, and they want the proof, you know.
Mm.
But it's, you know, it's none of their business. What,
No.
you know, I mean, I get that they want to know what happened. We all
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
But there's no why in there. You're not going to get the why, and you know, the friends have said that you're not going
Yeah.
to get the why. And so,
Even if there was an explanation saying, we've been communicating with a spirit from Egypt for the past 6 months, and this spirit has told us, showed us, proved to us that we have to do X, Y, and Z,
yeah.
most people would still go, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
I can't
They're going to
understand
find a
how
way
they
to
could.
twist it.
Yeah, but nobody else was there, nobody else was living it except for the three in that house. And they're
Definitely.
the only ones that know how things were said, how things felt.
Yeah.
Um, it's a difficult one. I mean, Kamel's clearly having some kind of experience which is real to her, and from how it's written and from the conversation that David's having, it sounds like he's very much believing her and sort of being supportive to whatever it is that they believe they've been chosen
Right.
for. One bit that always gets me is when he's like, Kamel got raptured today, she's still here. Who is the she? Is she the spirit, or is she
Yeah.
Kamel? And then he writes this, you said you were Egyptian. Well, we know Kamel's not Egyptian.
Right.
So was Kamel like
Raptured, and
almost,
that Egyptian, the
yeah.
spirit that he, yeah.
Is he talking to Kamel, or is he talking to a spirit through Kamel?
Yeah.
Or a perceived, it's not my place. I would never want to sort of make any kind of judgment and say that's what, all you can do is say, could it have been that they were having this, clearly from their actions and the conclusion, it does seem like it was very real to them and that they were going to act on it,
Yeah.
but in what way this all unfolded as to whether it's drugs, mental health, an actual spiritual experience, communication, that's not my place to
Yeah.
cast that stone. I look at it as it's potentially a combination of all three.
Yeah, that's what I was about to
And
say. You know, it could possibly be all of those things together that, you know, that's
yeah,
the
lots of
why.
people have said that they've had like paranormal experiences, and people say you'll never believe it until you have your own
Oh yeah,
experience.
definitely, definitely.
So who's anybody, and they all vary. Some people hear things, some people see things, some people feel things. Who's anyone else to say, well, my experience was real, but that's not real?
Yeah, yeah,
But at the same time, that doesn't mean to say that, the old fishing line and the sheet's gonna like win you around to go, oh, I've seen a ghost.
right.
But there are plenty of people, especially in like historical buildings and things, that have got quite a lot of documented
Yeah,
records of people who didn't know anything about these buildings and have told them things that they couldn't have known.
right. Well, see, wasn't
So,
this going on like beforehand too, like the spiritual stuff? Like Kamel's sister had said something about seeing the spirit, or David seeing a spirit or something like that.
yeah, Kamel's sister had said that she was staying with David and Kamel at their apartment, obviously before Ramsdale Drive,
Right.
and that she was like bunked up in Ronnie's room with Ronnie, and that Ronnie had got upset, or was distressed and crying woke her up and she saw a figure in the doorway, which she thought at first was David. But then, with all of the commotion of Rani crying and everything, she then saw David go past this figure. And apparently, David got a Bible and started reading from the Bible. And I think there was mention that some like things started falling off the walls or something, but
Oh wow.
I don't know how. But yeah, so there sounds like they had some paranormal activity that was witnessed by somebody outside of David Kamal and Rani.
Yeah. That's very
Um,
odd. I mean,
mm,
it wasn't was this before he had started the project, like the Gray
I
State
really,
project?
I don't know. I
Okay.
really don't know, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm thinking that it would possibly be during,
During,
because he
because
was
they
doing
lived in
it
the
for quite some
apartment.
time.
Yeah.
He'd worked on Grey State for a couple of years
Right.
before, and then he was at film school before that. So I'm thinking it must have been when he was working on it, because just thinking back to the trailer, there's that scene, isn't there, with Kamel
Yeah.
holding Rani, and she's quite young, so he was
Yeah.
already making and filming stuff sort of when she's, I don't
Yeah.
know how old she would have been there, maybe 18 months, maybe
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
Do you know the
Somewhere
part
around
that I
there.
mean?
Yeah, where she's sitting on the chair and they're watching the
Yeah,
TV and she's like, yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, these spiritual things had obviously been happening to them for a while. For David to go and grab a Bible, maybe it just he had dealt with it, or they had dealt with it as a family, or you know
this is it. I mean, no one really knows too many details about that, and I don't think that it's something that family or friends, if they do know,
right.
whether how much information they would want to sort of put out about it, because it is such a topic that causes divide.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean,
you know
it
and
doesn't
and
it, it
ultimately
doesn't
it still
really.
won't prove anything.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. It's not going to prove anything. It's not going to change what happened. So, the reason that it happened or the why it happened, you may never know, but we know from the
Exactly.
evidence that it happened. And
Yeah,
oh wow.
definitely.
Yeah.
um but yeah, it's one of those things that's, even the family can't say, well, this happened and that was real and that was real and that wasn't real, and because it's all down to your own
Yeah.
perspective and what you've seen, what you've witnessed. If you've never seen it, then
Yeah.
people think that others are winding them up, pulling the leg, playing a joke. Other people would then say, why would I make it up?
Yeah.
What have I got to gain from making it up? It's like, what would Kamel and David have to gain from,
Yeah.
saying, I know, let's pretend we'll play ourselves. You can be Kamel and I'll be David. We'll play ourselves and we'll record on video and we'll record on audio and we'll write it in the journal as well. And yeah, why don't we just pretend that we've been having a spiritual encounters? It's just for us.
Right. It's just that's
Because he
ridiculous to
says
even think that.
he says in the audio, doesn't he, something about, can you help me remember, it's just for us or something,
Yeah.
or it's just for us, do you want to help me remember,
Yeah.
so that he could document it. um Maybe it's the thing of going, I'm going to document it because that was freaking weird,
Yeah.
and I want to look into it, I want to research it, I want to see if I can find anything about it, and I want to be able to remember it
Yeah.
to the best
Clearly.
of, as accurately as we can.
Well, we know
um
that he was researching things like that because that was on um the evidence files from his computer. So
Yeah.
the Egyptian and all these things, he was researching it. So maybe that's the reason he recorded it, because he wanted to remember everything that was said. So when he was researching what was going on, like what the hell's going on with my family, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, have you ever seen that program that is about children that have got memories of what you can call past lives?
Oh yeah, yeah, I've
You
seen
know,
those. Yeah,
it's like as soon as they're able to sort of talk, they're telling their parents
yeah, they were.
peculiar things
Mhm.
that sort of, aren't the normal kind of vocabulary for like a beginner talker. And
Yeah.
then, of course, what are you going to do as a parent if your child's telling you, I used to be I was a pilot in World War Two.
Yeah, I've seen
You
that
know,
one, by
you
the way. Yeah, I've seen that video. It's
you're gonna
crazy.
like sort of write it down and like write, where he said that he had two sisters, or he said that he was called John or Bill or Bob or whatever, and he said that he lived in a house that looked like da 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 da, and from this area, or you're gonna write down or record those details. So when he's gone off to bed, you're gonna be like, "Hey Google,"
Yeah. Yeah.
and to try and find out one way or another as to, has my child got a very active imagination and been seeing stuff that we didn't know they could see or hear, as in like TV programs, or an avid National Geographic fan,
Right.
or whether they have actually got some kind of memory, and and so that you can try and work out what you're supposed to do as a parent
Yeah.
to try and
Absolutely.
help your child through this confusion of, I was a man and then I died and now I'm a baby kind of thing, because that's one of the things they seem to say quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we all tend to research things, that we don't understand or we don't know about. Like, I can't tell you how many times I shouldn't have picked up Google when my kids were sick, because it would pop up
Yeah,
leukemia or cancer. I'm like, no, 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 no. They just have a
yeah,
cold. you
yeah. No,
know,
you can scare yourself.
Definitely.
But for this kind of thing, maybe David wanted to document it because he didn't exactly know
Yeah.
whether it was, what was going on in which context, and was she winding him up or was she being serious? I mean, he reacts as though he believes her, but maybe he had some sort of some doubts himself as to
Right.
where it was coming from, or who knows. But it looks like he was certainly wasn't ridiculing what was going on. He seemed like he was believing her and trying to comfort her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if he was researching it afterwards, it kind of just proves that, he did believe her. It was real enough to her to be real enough to him to research. And so
Yeah,
that just kind of puts it in place, and knocks out the theory of, oh, they were just, practicing a script. Well, if they were just practicing a script, then why would they use their names? A.
exactly.
B, why would, you know, Camille didn't act in the movie. So, I mean, she did a few scenes with Ronnie, like, split scenes or whatever, but like to be an actual actor in the film, I don't believe she was, I know she
Yeah,
so it's
I think
just it's odd.
dietitian stuff was her thing rather than like a film career kind of thing. She
Right.
was like mind, body, and health, sort of,
Yeah.
not, I want to be a Hollywood actress.
Yeah.
And also, did you notice that in the living room on the glass coffee table by
No.
the wireless speaker, there's a printout of a picture,
Oh.
and it's the pyramids, and there's a lemur and some other kind of little, might be a different kind of lemur,
Are you talking about
but
the
there's,
crime scene or this video
yeah,
here? Okay.
and the crime scene.
Yeah.
Um, and there's a stuffed lemur toy
Yeah.
remains on the floor. So there's a connection to Egypt
Yeah,
a
definitely.
lemur, and then a toy lemur on the floor. So was there some explaining going on to Ronnie
About
about?
where she was go, or about where they were
Yeah,
going. Yeah,
because she
definitely.
also had a book in her room. Ronnie did a book about Egypt, ancient Egypt. I think it was a National Geographic. I'm plugging them today, but I don't even know why. But there was a book, children's book by them on ancient Egypt, and there looked to be a drawing that someone had done that was of like desert and camels,
Yeah.
and that was also in Rani's room, and there was paper pyramid as well, um, like a craft thing.
Wow.
It might, it might not have any kind. It might just be a coincidence, but it was something that I picked up on, and quite a few other people had noticed it as well and
Yeah, I
wondered.
didn't even think about that, but that is very odd that, I was trying to find this picture in here, what you were talking about. Let's see.
Yeah, it's you need to sort of. It's just that the glass table. There's a picture of like going from the sort of family room towards like the chair,
Right.
and you can zoom in and see the picture there.
Yeah, I pulled it over on the other screen so that way if any images popped up, they are not there on the screen. So I am trying to find it. See. I know we're at the living room now, so and you said there was a book or sorry.
Yeah, there was a book on Rani's desk, I think it was.
Right. Okay, let me come on, where are you? I think they got like 20 pictures of the front door on here.
I know.
Okay.
Zoom in on that one on the glass table.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, me just barking at you then. Zoom in!
Can I zoom in? Yes. Let's see. Hold on. Can I move it around? That's weird. I can only move to the. Can you see it on the screen?
I can see what you're doing, yeah.
Okay, just making sure. All right. Maybe it. I think there's like one from a better angle, isn't there?
Yeah, I think there is.
Okay, hold on. Okay, because I'm trying to make sure of what I'm showing on the screen. I know you can see, but okay, there we go. All right, I found
Yeah.
it. Okay, so let me move this over. And I really don't like showing these pictures just because it's. But this is the only one that really has the. You can see right here.
Yeah.
The pyramid right here.
Now Joe can see it.
And then we have the lemur, and it's kind of torn up all over the floor here.
Yeah. Can you zoom in on that anymore or?
I can, but it's gonna zoom that way and not.
Right, I'm with you.
Yeah. Let me see if I can do it on the actual screen here. Hold on. No, it's not gonna. Yeah, it's not gonna let me. That's weird. I don't know why. I have a weird computer. Uh, but yeah, I mean,
But that's the area if people want to look.
yeah, it's right here.
It's
So
have a look and zoom in, and there's a ring-tailed lemur in
yeah,
that picture, and it's a ring-tailed lemur on the floor, and maybe it's just a coincidence, but I just found it interesting, and
yeah,
especially with the reference of you said that
definitely.
you're Egyptian,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I don't want to be accused of saying something as stating it as a fact. I'm not stating it as a
Well,
fact.
no,
I'm
I
just
mean it's a fact that the picture of the pyramid is there, and the lemur is there, and the discussion about the being from coming from Egypt. So, I mean,
there's circumstantial evidence that there's some kind of potential connection.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
And to me it's just a sign that there were more complex things going on with what David and Camille were potentially thinking and feeling, but that's
yeah,
just my opinion.
right. I mean, I know that I don't have a lot of things that go in my house with like discussions that I've had. That's just, and for all of
Yeah,
it to kind of fall in the same time area is just, it's, yeah,
yeah,
it's just kind of weird.
and you sort of, I don't even like thinking about trying to. Maybe it shows that they was trying to put her mind at ease and
Right.
tell her without telling her something. I don't know, but yeah, I don't like to think about that because it.
Definitely. I mean, it's a hard one to think about, but I mean, we have uh, there's so many little things that tie into, you know,
Yeah,
the actual crime scene itself. Like, and that just it's how do you explain it? It's personal. There's so many
yeah,
things to do with Camille and David that are in that area that they were in to be so personal.
yeah,
Somebody from the outside, they're not going to have all of those personal effects in that area. Like it
yeah.
just
Well, it's like with the Quran, a lot of it, well, not even a lot, but there's a focus where people concentrate on where the book was open to, but there's also a lot of pages that are torn out and loose and parts of pages. Is that down to the dog, or were these pages purposely taken out for a reason?
yeah. Yeah, and I mean that's the thing. It's one of those things that no one will ever know because it was between them. Whatever they were going through, whatever they were dealing with, whatever they believed or didn't believe in, that was
Yeah,
what ultimately led to it. And it for there to be so many personal effects, they're about their lives and things just in the area that they were found in. It's I don't
that's
know.
it, and it doesn't have to make sense to any of us.
Exactly.
It's them that it was
Yep.
kind of making sense to, or they were trying to make sense
Yeah.
of. But when people say there's no evidence that there was a pact, well, maybe it's not hard evidence, but they're talking about having to go somewhere together and their souls being committed to each other,
Yeah.
and this hopeless, desperate love
Yeah.
kind of does sound a little bit like a pact.
Yeah. I mean, it does, and just I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say what happened, because everybody kind of has their feelings on what happened, but the thing is, it happened. Whether it's our opinion or you know the fact is it was a double murder suicide, and
Yeah,
one of
if
them could have stopped. One of them could have stopped this, but they were together in their feelings or whatever they were, or he was in his feelings.
Yeah,
So, and it doesn't change the ultimate outcome of it.
that's it. If you've got access to the photos, the one that's got a better angle of that picture is BCA 4441.
441 or 44 what?
444, 3 4s and a 1.
Okay, so BCA or 4. All right, there we go.
And then
and there's the lemur right there. Wow. Wow.
And I and many other members over the years have tried to find this picture, to see whether it was in the storybook and that they printed it out, and we cannot find that picture.
Wow.
Anyway, the amount of children's books that I've ended up buying that have got anything related to a lemur or Egypt, and I cannot find that picture. And I know that there are other members that have also put a lot of time into looking to try and find out what that picture means.
Yeah.
And we can't find where it came from.
I'll have to go through and see if I can find something too. I mean, throw some of my brain in there to see if I can find it. That is, wow, I never noticed that. I noticed the pyramids. But I never noticed the lemur in there, and then the connection to the lemur on the floor. That is, wow.
I mean, I can crop that and zoom in and then send it to you, and then maybe you could get that on the screen. I'll send it to you on
okay,
Messenger. Just one moment. It should be coming over to you.
There we go. Right, let me. Yeah. Wow.
So there's definitely the pyramids.
So there's like a lemur and then like some type of little squirrel or gerbil looking thing.
Yeah, I can't work out what that is. And then of course there's another stuffed animal that's beige, like under and behind the Christmas tree. But I don't know what that is. I think some people thought it was a cat or something that I don't know. I don't think I've really...
Maybe it's this one. Maybe there is some kind of book that,
But I just found that quite interesting.
Definitely. I mean, you don't just find a random picture like this, and it's not even just thrown on the table. It's like, sitting on underneath of a speaker.
Yeah, and like can't find any. Doesn't look like there's any writing on there. There's no print. It looks like it's been made specifically that David or Komel have put that together. Again, I don't know, but I can't find that anywhere.
Wow.
So yeah, feel free to
yeah, I'll definitely have to look that up and see. That's crazy. Wow. That'll be definitely on my research list. So
it's just another little...
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm glad that, because like I said, I noticed the pyramid thing before, but I didn't really put the connection with like her vision or the lemurs.
The cuddly toy on the floor.
Yeah. That is,
Yeah,
wow. Alrighty then. Well,
it's yeah, it's a funny
so
little thing.
let's see. Trying to think of what else we can discuss because that was very interesting. Like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to look into that. That's wow.
There's
So,
there is another thing, but we'd have to find the photo and zoom in. But there's another thing that it's a quote from Sumerian times about um it's I don't want to get the quote wrong, so I almost don't want to quote it, but it's something to do with um like man being sad because something to do with the blood of the ancient ones, the ancient gods,
uh-huh.
and it's that's an interesting thing as well. So it just looks like they are searching to try and, I don't know, like verify or make something make sense.
Yeah.
But I don't like to sort of, I don't want to put a spin on it and say this is what I think, because I don't know, but I just know that there's lots of interesting little
Yeah.
things.
There's a lot of personal things just within
Yeah,
the crime scene itself that things that were between them, personal things between them that were
yeah,
there.
yeah.
So, yeah.
But I mean, people say that audio was like a improv kind of thing for an idea, but then you've got the stuff that's in the New Yorker where it's quoting something else, and then you're finding something in the house that links to which,
Yeah.
if it was an improv, why would there be a connection to Egypt and the picture in the lemur
Yeah, definitely.
if you're just having a little, let's pretend moment? That doesn't make any sense. So I try and keep an open mind with what was said with the Quran, what these like little things that are said. At the end of the day, it's David and Kamel's voices. They're saying these things, so I'm not going to just disregard what they are saying.
Yeah. Yeah, there's too I don't know, it's just too personal, like in inner family personal
Yeah,
that no one besides, David and Camille would know about because obviously they were the only ones there when that vision happened. So,
yeah, and no one knows how many other visions and experiences they had. I mean,
yeah.
there's references to them having like lots of spiritual stuff, but we don't know the type of spiritual experience they're referring to. And to be honest, as curious about it as we may be, like we said earlier, it's not our business. It's no one's business. It's, the family, they don't have a lot left of David, Kamel, and Rani. So
Yeah.
what they do have left, it should be theirs to think and feel and watch at
Yeah.
their own time without having a bunch of strangers forcing their opinions and
Yeah.
saying, well, I think this and da 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 da. It's the memories are being tarnished, and as
Definitely.
it is,
I
so
mean,
you just
I don't know. I
try
think
and,
it should be I honestly think it should be put to rest. I mean, it's 7 years down the road. You have so many people, so many different groups, so many different YouTube videos. I mean, the stuff that I've read online is just nuts. I mean, it's crazy. many
There
of
is a lot
them
of
many of
crazy.
them just haven't even picked up the reports to even read them, and those that have don't really understand them. You know,
Definitely.
there's
There's a,
several.
you see it all over YouTube where people have watched the trailer and then they've come
Yeah,
to a conclusion that this is what's happened,
yeah,
you know. It, and it's like, well, have you read the police reports? I don't need to read the police reports. Well, you kind of do, really.
yeah,
You know, they're real people. They're someone's loved ones, and it's insulting to say, well, I know more about David than David's family, and I know more about Kamel than Kamel's family, and I know for a fact that they've been bumped off by X, Y, and Z.
yeah. Just
But I don't need to read the report or look at anything or try and understand anything because he did a trailer and it had a Masonic apron in it.
but yet
Removed
everything was
it
still in the house.
7 days. Yeah.
I
And
mean,
everybody else who was like looked at had possession of like the scripts and everything else, they're still alive.
yeah,
People who are digging into this left, right, and centre and saying that it's a cover up, they're still alive, yet they're attracting more attention to it,
yeah,
but nothing's happened to them.
yep, yep. They don't look at that aspect of it. And they don't want to because it's not the narrative. It's not the story that's going to keep it alive. And so, you
Exactly. If there was some deep cover up, nobody would be like, when they claim that they've been threatened, I very much doubt they have, because if it was some, like, deep state government, who was bumping people off, they're not going to give you any warning. You're
oh
just going to
yeah,
get bumped off.
yeah, definitely. I don't know. It's just it's crazy. It's a very sad tragedy that you know you're never gonna know why, but it's there, and you're always gonna get somebody with their own opinion, or
Yeah,
somebody that doesn't agree with the facts, or somebody that wants to run with something. You know, People
yeah,
that have the evidence that have had it for 7 years, and they know, they see it right in their face that it's been pointed out to them, but they still run with what they want to run with,
yeah.
because that's what makes them important.
Well, this is it, and it's been said many a time by family and friends, that they can explain and they understand like how it happened,
Yeah,
but you'll never understand the why. And that kind of in essence says, well, we know why, but we still don't understand why they felt they had to do this or he had to do this, why this was the only option.
yeah,
Because most people would go, okay, this is very strange. I think we need to see a doctor, or I think we need to go and, I don't know, see a priest or a vicar or a spiritualist most people come from a standpoint of going, well, I wouldn't do that. But until you experience what they perceive to be experiencing, who can sort of say? I'm not
yeah,
advocating doing what they did, but until, what's that saying? Unless you've walked a mile in someone's shoes, you don't have any right to pass
yeah,
judgment.
definitely. Well, I say we keep this talk specifically with the prophecies and the visions, and then we come back and revisit other, because I mean this one has kind of been all about um, the visions and the
Yeah,
prophecies, and the just the little things inside of the crime scene, the personal effects in the scene itself that kind of go along with the visions.
yeah,
Because I got to run and deal with some
yes,
Thanksgiving stuff at the school with the kids.
that's no problem. I have to cook some dinner.
So what are we having? Are we having coronation chicken?
Yeah. Now that's not what they called it earlier, is it?
No, nope, that's an
But we'll
inside
say
joke.
yeah.
You'll never know what it means.
Nope,
Not until I make a meme about it.
exactly. But no, we're not having coronation chicken, not tonight.
Darn. All right. Well, I want to thank you for hopping on here with me again. Hopefully, we can get everybody else on too.
Yeah,
'Cause
and that is no problem, and you're very welcome.
Joe needs to get out of his hidey hole and come and talk. But all right, well, we're gonna hop off here, and I'm gonna just title this one about the prophecies, and then we'll move on to another topic next time. But thank you guys,
You're very
whoever's here
welcome.
watching,
Yep.
for
Or
coming and
who's watching in the future.
or whoever's watching in the future. And then we'll be back soon. So take care, like, subscribe, and make sure you guys check out the Crowley Case Fact versus Fiction on YouTube and Facebook. It's a group. And then you can also check out Deep State Granny on YouTube. So we will talk to you later.